So, bonus points for next week is whoever can give me the best summary of that long definition in a maximum of 3 words. And the bonus prize will be you get an extra 60 seconds of water break time.
Say that right now.
What do you got? That's so interesting. You have no food in your mouth and you couldn't talk. That's so interesting. So you can only talk when you have food in your mouth. Yeah, Omer. It's tough, isn't it?
Maturity by uniqueness.
Okay. But he's the one who takes you through that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you get bonus points if you're right there, Adam? Yeah. I think you're really struggling here. Yeah. Really? It's that mixture of the hiccups and the giggles, huh? Yeah. Okay, so the short definition of Rabb is nourisher. Raise your hand. Okay. So long definition is the one who takes you from immaturity to maturity according to your unique design. The short definition is nourisher. Rabb al-Alameen is that he's the Rabb of all the worlds. Write that down. Rabb al-Alameen means Rabb of all the worlds. Rabb of all the worlds. Are you guys like just happy to be here? Is that what it is? You can't contain yourself? I understand. Yeah. All right, here's a question. Do you guys think there's life on other planets?
Yes.
Okay, let's vote. Who says yes? Raise your hand. Who says no?
I myself live on other planets.
No one says no?
I'm from
Krypton.
planet.
You're from the food planet.
Yeah.
Okay, what is the name of this food planet? I think the name of the food planet is Earth. So what you're saying basically is you're not from Earth. Yes, sir.
Krypton.
You're from Krypton, huh? Do you have special powers? Can you
my
like
planet's
jump?
called Pt-2.
Pizza Stan. All right. Why do you guys think that there's life on other planets?
Because I heard like last year that they found some sort of microspecies on Mars.
Okay. Do you think there's intelligent life on other planets? Yeah, Adam.
Because it says Lord of all the worlds.
Oh, because of all the worlds that maybe. There's life on other planets. Yeah.
That this is Lord of all the worlds, and that like it also talks about like universes too. So there's probably like more than one universe.
Okay.
It says Lord of all the worlds, so that means maybe the worlds are the intelligent being.
Okay. Interesting. Oh, that was pretty deep. Okay, so here's the question.
They're making that.
So all of you believe that there's intelligent life on other planets, yeah?
Yes.
Somewhere in the universe. Who said no? Was somebody say no? Why do you say no?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yes? Oh, is peer pressure you're saying yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the question. Is Islam their religion too?
Yes.
Yes.
Should be.
Why?
Well, because if there's Islam on Earth and we're intelligent beings, then shouldn't Allah have put Islam on other planets?
Okay.
If Allah created them, then
Then Islam, then they have to have Islam? Yeah.
He said Lord of all worlds, so it's like he's like Lord of all worlds, and like he said that like the prophets were sent to all civilizations.
Okay. So they probably receive prophets, yeah.
And like, aren't like all animals like Muslim?
Yeah, basically.
Why aren't when
They're intelligent.
aliens?
So aliens should also be Muslim then too?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. Any other thoughts? What do you think? So here's a question. When we speak about the Prophet, peace be upon him, we call him the mercy to what? Mankind, as well as the mercy to?
people.
The same as mankind. The mercy, we call him the mercy to
Creations.
all the worlds. Rahmatun lil alameen. Which means that if there's life on other planets,
might be there.
It means, well, I don't think he's there, okay? But it means he is also a mercy to us, and he's also a mercy to life and everyone else in the universe. So right on. That wherever there is life, the Prophet is a mercy to them. Wherever there is life, the Prophet, peace be upon him, is a mercy to them. Yes, Adam.
If there was life on other planets, wouldn't there be prophets there as well?
Yeah?
So is the prophets taking like a universe to another place?
Didn't he? Huh?
Who is
Did he do the night journey? Dun, 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 dun. I think it's cool if there's no life on any other planets. I think it's cool if there is. So imagine there's a whole universe and this is the only planet that has any life.
Oh my gosh, that's Skokie.
And think about how huge the universe is. Or, but that's if there's others, right? Suppose there's only life on 2 other planets. Or suppose there's life on 100 billion planets. Ultimately, I don't think it really matters unless we meet them, right? But the key is that wherever there is life, and we only know of life on Earth, the Prophet peace on him is mercy to them. Yes, Orion.
Will we also talk about parallel and alternate universes?
Yeah, we can. Well, a little bit later. Yeah, we'll talk about it. Okay. Nevertheless, Allah Ta'ala is the nourisher of all the worlds. Right down.
Can you repeat that?
Allah is the nourisher of all the worlds. Really cool if like there was people from another planet. They all look like Khalid. You know, they all walk in. They all have like they have a popcorn in their mouth and everything. We're from Pizza Stan. Okay. So notice how many times Allah's kindness is mentioned. First we said Bismillah, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. His kindness is mentioned twice, right? Then Alhamdulillah, praise and gratitude are to Him. And then He's the nourisher of all the worlds. So how many times do you... So 4 so far. What's the next line after Rabbil Alameen?
Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim.
Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. What does Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim mean?
The mercy and the ever.
The most
The
merciful.
mercy and the ever?
And
The most kind, most merciful.
Most merciful, eternally merciful.
I knew it.
Most merciful, eternally merciful. Write that down.
oh yeah, do we have to do like an error?
Didn't we
Oh.
already do this? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
is
so
that the
you can
same?
just write most merciful, eternally merciful in English. So think about this as you're writing this. Of all the things Allah Ta'ala could mention about Himself, look at what He's mentioning the most. Mercy. So what does that mean for me? How should I...
It makes your life easier.
Da, da, da. Perfect. So what does this mean? If I am thinking of Allah Ta'ala, should I be an optimist or a pessimist? I should be an optimist.
What's a pessimist?
Wait,
When
what's
you think
that?
the world's going to suck.
Oh,
Optimist is when you think the world's going to get better.
it's gonna get better.
Yeah. So think about this, that if Allah Ta'ala's primary relationship with us is rahmah, is this mercy, then that means we should have hope more than fear. Write that down. That when I think of Allah Ta'ala in my life, I should have hope more than fear.
This is notes, right?
These are notes.
Okay.
Yeah. Guess what? You're going to get another homework assignment in just a second. It's going to add another 5 seconds. What are we up to now? I think we're up to about 30 seconds now for your daily homework.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Wait, can you repeat that sentence?
so want to repeat what we just
When I think of Allah, I should have more hope than fear.
Yeah.
See?
Okay.
It's no.
So, your additional homework assignment is each day I want you to write 2 things that you are hopeful for, and 1 thing that you are afraid of.
Spiders and something.
Okay.
Or spiders is the second one.
Thunder.
Thunder?
Ow.
Okay. So,
Two things you hope for, one thing you
2 things you're hopeful for, and 1 thing you're afraid of.
Wait, what?
2 things, write down 2 things you're hopeful for each day, and 1 thing you're afraid of each day. So next week you should have 14 things that you are hopeful for, 7 things you're afraid of. Chances are you might run out of things you're afraid of.
I'm not afraid of anything.
So, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it?
Getting shot.
Guys got it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm not afraid.
Okay. Raise your hand. All right.
Yeah, I'm not afraid.
Okay. Okay, so here's a question for you guys. Look at how many times we're mentioning Allah's kindness now. Count it.
1, 2, 3.
It's impossible to count.
Okay.
In terms of what's listed, how many things?
Maybe like 10.
Give me an exact number. Okay, let's do it step by step. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. 6.
I was close. I said
Okay.
7.
Is it possible?
Close but no sitar. Okay, here's a question. That if Allah Ta'ala is so merciful, that again, He says ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, right? If He's so merciful, somebody explain to me why we have suffering in the world. If He's so merciful. And I bet you guys are all going to say it's a test. Yeah. Okay, give me a better answer than it's a test. Yeah.
Well, it's a test, but he also... But it's like, he's also like, because he's saying that he's so merciful because he probably wants you to make dua and ask for his mercy.
Okay. Okay. So it's a test, but we're not going to call it a test. Yeah. Yeah,
It's
Khalid.
the craziness and the stupidness of people's mind that makes them all do this. Like,
Oh, okay, so you're saying suffering is caused by people.
yeah.
Okay. Yes, sir, Orion.
It's a quiz.
Okay, it's not a test. It's a quiz. Yeah, Mohsen.
People aren't
It's a pop quiz.
acknowledging the mercies of God.
Okay. Okay, interesting. Yeah, Adam. Oh, that's pretty heavy. The world is perfect that we wouldn't need a law. That's pretty deep. Okay. It's a plot twist. Any other thoughts? Muzammil, how do we explain suffering in the world? If He is so merciful. Test is not wrong. But the reason why I'm trying to get you to give different answers, because we say test for everything.
And it's not only a test.
It's an open note test? Explain. Oh, okay, so it's open book, open note, okay. Now, you make an interesting point. You're saying, if the world was perfect, then we wouldn't need a law. So, when we have suffering, that means we need a law. That means Allah Ta'ala is giving us suffering as a favor?
No, it's a test.
that we perfectly the Torah wasn't perfect. No, whatever I said before, he said that like he finds it as a way for us to ask him.
Okay. So, then it becomes a favor to remind me to ask Allah Ta'ala. Whoa, yes.
I haven't studied enough.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
It's an obstacle course.
It's an obstacle course, yeah. Oh, you guys are really good with your synonyms. Yeah, mashallah. Yes, sir, Adam.
It's an assessment.
Assessment. Wow, wow. Okay, so then explain this to me. Let's make it a specific case. Okay. If Allah Ta'ala is so merciful, how do you explain a baby that's suffering? Because a baby doesn't have the intellect to think about a test. Yeah, Adam.
Bad parenting.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Maybe it's the genetics from the parents or grandparents who did.
Okay.
And disease.
But if Allah is so merciful, why would He make the baby suffer? The baby didn't do anything.
Are we talking about a baby that has been born or a baby that hasn't been born?
What's the difference between the two?
Well, a baby that hasn't been born hasn't been given life yet,
Okay.
and it's still connected to the mom.
Okay.
And the baby that has been born starts its life.
Okay. So let's say it's a baby that's 6 months old. He's been born 6 months ago. Explain it. Yeah.
Houses.
Like if he's suffering when he's younger, and then like later on in life, maybe it was like some really dangerous disease, and then he gets cured.
Okay.
Then he can maybe give thanks to Allah and that.
Showing that all the time.
Yeah, like it's showing
Okay.
like how
Okay.
merciful he is.
Okay. Any thoughts? What do you think, Abdul Basit? Oh, you raising your hand? Yeah.
Back to what we were saying.
Yeah.
What was the question? And we asked alone. And we have everything we ever wanted. And what were we asking for?
You asking for more?
Like, what do you have everything you ever wanted?
Yeah, that's what heaven's going to be like, and then like each day of heaven's going to be even better. Yeah?
There's
What do you
also-
think?
But I'm talking about the
I'm saying, imagine you got everything you've ever wanted in the world.
What was the point of living?
What?
Yeah,
You have everything you ever wanted.
Yeah, obviously.
Sure, inshallah. Yeah.
What, I wish that happened.
Shh.
I feel like if that happened, people would forget to ask Allah.
I think that often happens. Yeah, I think that often happens. That you get everything, then you forget about Allah Ta'ala. Yeah, that's very wise. What do you think?
I'm sorry.
That's why they're suffering?
Yeah.
Okay. Explain why, if Allah Ta'ala is so merciful, explain a baby that's suffering. What do you think? So let's say the baby. Okay, let's give a couple examples. Let's say the baby has cancer and is in constant pain 24/7, but the baby didn't do anything to earn it. Why? You got one? Okay, let's hear it.
It's not a test for the baby, it's a test for the parents.
Okay. All right, what do you guys think? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Mohsen.
Not just the parents, but makes people around them feel thankful.
Okay, so anyone around the baby, maybe not just the parents?
Why
Okay.
take it out of
This is the question.
maybe the
Okay.
baby?
Yeah, Adam.
Baby's a baby can't, like, it's just a little baby, it's not really gonna remember it.
Okay, but what if the baby's in non-stop pain?
Well, it's either a punishment for the parents
Okay.
or a test because you can't really punish the baby
Well-
when it's just born.
Okay, but that's the question. Then why make the baby go through it? Yeah, it doesn't make sense, but...
Because you're punishing the parents, but you can't punish the baby for not.
Okay, but aren't there babies in our society that are sick?
Well, maybe like they're gonna grow up to be evil.
Yeah, you got it, Mohsen? Let's hear it.
Suffer in this world, it'll be easier in the hereafter, like it'll be easier to achieve.
Okay. Okay, so if the baby's suffering now, one thing we can say, suppose you have a baby who is suffering and the baby dies. What's going to happen with the baby? Yeah, John?
Because it's young and it hasn't like actually got its deeds to start getting counted, it probably will go to heaven.
Okay, so one is that if the baby's suffering now and then dies, that baby's going to go straight to paradise, right? So then the suffering doesn't seem so bad, right? It might be horrendous in terms of what the baby's experiencing now, but then the baby goes to paradise. Right? But what if the baby hasn't died? Let's say the baby is, sorry?
So like the suffering that it goes through during its life, when it dies, that like justifies the
Okay, so what if you have the baby who gets a really horrible sickness, is in constant pain, and then everyone's telling the baby, "Oh, you're just going through this because it's a test," and now the baby is 10 years old and is going through constant suffering, and everyone's saying, "Oh, this is just a test," and the baby's 20 years old and everyone's saying it's just a test, and then the baby says, "All you guys give me is the same answer." Okay. I don't want that answer. What would you say?
It happens for a reason.
Okay. And the baby will say, "Well, why did it happen to me?" Yeah, I didn't do anything.
Because it'll pay off later for
Okay.
living with it now. Or something.
Okay, inshallah. Yeah, all right.
I would probably say that something has to happen to somebody, and if it doesn't happen to you, then who would it happen to?
Okay, that's interesting. So someone has to be made sick, but then we say, well, why does someone have to be made sick if Allah is so merciful? Yeah, Jawad.
First of all, like everyone has to get tested, and some people get tested in different ways.
Okay.
And if you pass the test, then you get rewarded. So it's
Okay.
better to stay patient.
Okay. Okay. Yammer.
They're the example for everyone to learn off of.
Okay, that's interesting. So like everyone else is looking at this person suffering, so that should also remind me to be grateful. Yeah, Adam.
He's merciful in the ways that you take for granted.
What does that mean?
So that's like you wake up and do your normal stuff, and you just say that's my normal stuff, and you really take the time to acknowledge that you actually have the privilege to be doing that
Sure.
stuff.
Yeah, good point.
And like you look at the people out on the street and stuff, and you're like, oh, that's poor people. The next day you really forget about it.
Okay.
And then, so you're not, and then like when something bad happens to you, you're like, why is this happening to me?
Mhm.
And nothing good ever happens to me, but you don't notice all the good stuff that are happening.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, Mosa.
It's a lot, or the rub taking you from immaturity to maturity.
Okay, so he's taking you into maturity. Sure. Yeah. All right. Raise your hand. Okay. Re-raise your hand. Okay. So guess what your homework assignment is for next week? Your homework assignment has to argue how can it make sense that Allah Ta'ala is so merciful
And we still suffer.
and there is still suffering in the world. Okay, you have to give me a paragraph.
What?
What? So, does it make sense that Allah Ta'ala is so merciful and there is so much suffering in the world? That's question A. Question B relates to this.
So both in one paragraph.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah. That's good negotiation right there. Yeah. Good. Question B. Is this world fair?
No.
Good. You'll need an explanation, not just no.
Because you can't always get what you want.
Okay.
That's not totally fair.
Oh, big words. Sorry?
It's not fair.
Okay, so what do you guys think? Is this, yeah,
Is it fair?
is this world fair?
No, it's not.
Good. So you guys tell me this. How many of you think this world is fair? All right. How many of you say this world is not fair? You voted for both. Okay, so you're saying this world is fair and not fair, which means the world is not fair.
Maybe both.
Okay, those of you who say this world is fair, argue it.
Right now?
Yeah. Yeah, Ryan.
The world is fair for some people, but for other people it's not fair.
Okay. Yammer.
If you're given life, you should be faithful no matter what.
Okay. So that's automatic fairness. Okay. Who else says this world is fair?
Would you rather give life and it's a really terrible something? It's like a nightmare.
Okay.
Then some people rather not be born.
So then you're saying it's not fair.
That's what makes suicide happen.
Okay, so you're saying that the world's not fair. Okay. Yeah.
The world is it's just like it becomes unfair for other people when they don't achieve the goals, but some other people do, even
Okay.
though they all have like a fair shot at it.
So you're saying the world's not fair.
So, you know,
I'm saying it's fair, but you have to work hard.
Okay.
So it's taken both ways. Like, normally everyone is born the same way, but it depends on what you do in your life to see if it's fair or not for you.
Okay.
It's like opinion-based stuff.
Okay. Okay. Amazon.
I want to say it's not fair
Okay, because?
because, like, okay, obviously the world's not fair because if you're a child, a famous celebrity, and you're born in some poor country, they're obviously very different. And
Okay.
they're gonna live very different lives.
Okay. Okay.
So one is probably gonna not have anything.
Okay.
Probably gonna, and the other one's gonna have everything possible, which is not fair.
But then they get
Okay.
Wait, but how would you know
treatment
that?
late in the next life.
Wait, wait, Joel in the sala. Yeah.
Well, that's not true because Nelson Mandela, he was like a nobody before, but now
Okay.
everyone knows him.
Okay.
And so that kind of means you have a fair shot because if you try hard enough, you'll eventually get up to like where other people are.
But everyone can't be famous.
Okay.
But you can
more people.
Yes, sir.
For Muzammil's thing, how would you know that the person that was born in a, like a bad neighborhood or a bad place, how would you know they wouldn't be happy there instead of a child celebrity? You know what I mean?
Okay. What do you think, Muzammil?
Well, if you're born in a country, if you're born in a place that has no food or water, you're not going to be like as happy as a person who has everything.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think?
Well, I think it honestly matters on the person and how
Oh,
they see
so
it.
it's their perspective.
Yeah,
Okay.
they could be happy with what they have.
All right. Blvd, what do you think? Is the world fair or not fair?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
If you just think of the positives of what you have.
Okay. So. Okay. Is the world fair or not fair? What do you think?
Because you have everything, you could be grateful to Allah. You could still make dua and pray just like the person who has everything.
Okay.
Be grateful to Allah that.
Okay. Sally, you raise your hand.
Oh, I said it's fair that like this world because even if you're like, so there's a rich person, there's a poor person. This person has an easy life. They might forget about Allah sometimes, but the poor person remembers Allah all the time. So maybe in the hereafter or the second life, they'll get like better treatment because they will
Okay.
remember.
Okay.
It's actually proven that, like,
Rich people are less happy. Okay. So that means the world's not fair to rich people.
no, not necessarily, but like, if you could, your life could be fair while not having like all the advantages and everything.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Joel and Adam.
So he was.
Okay.
Did you say it's fair for Muslims?
What do you guys think? Is the world fair for Muslims?
Some
Yes.
Muslims. Not
Some?
all.
Not like in the
No,
US or
not all.
in general.
I'm not saying like that. I'm saying like, are we,
Wait, do you mean
are we,
like-
fa- are we, is it fair compared to like other religions
What do you mean?
No.
About this world or just,
about the?
Oh,
What do you think?
I think it is fair.
It is fair to us?
Because sometimes you see people like they have no idea what they're doing in their lives and they just want to give them, and they don't know what they want to do. They see psychologists, they do anything they can to like help them keep going. And, you know, we have communities and initiatives that can help us get through it, and you don't know if those people have it.
Okay.
So I think we're really thankful that we have Allah.
Okay.
We have someone to turn to every time.
So you're saying a non-Muslim, people, other religions might not really have any answers,
Yeah. Well,
so it's not really fair for them.
yeah. I mean,
Whereas
the
a Muslim
Bible,
has.
the Bible could count, and the Torah could count, but I think what we have is like really real and rich.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. You raise your hand. All right.
The world is fair, and I'm sure on this because while some people may think the world is unfair, it's actually fair because while a person may have everything, it may seem unfair because they're not happy because they just have everything, they don't have anything else. And that may make them see the world as unfair.
Okay.
But really, that's the price they pay for having everything, is
Okay.
being a bit unhappy.
Okay.
And someone who doesn't have everything still has good things and happiness, and since they don't have everything, that makes it seem a bit unfair for them.
Okay.
But since they're happy, that's the price they pay.
Okay. Interesting. Yes.
I mean, you know, in Islam, like the whole goal of life is to get to Jannah, and
Okay.
it's just a test. So, can you just come back to me? I forgot what I was going to say.
Yeah, sure, Khalid.
There's a hadith.
You're like, I had this great point, and I forgot what it is.
There's a hadith that, you know this too, that the world for an unbeliever is like paradise,
Okay?
and the world for a believer, a Muslim, is jail,
Yes.
punishment, or like not really like punishment, but like jail,
Okay.
prison. So I think it is fair because if they have all they want in this world, they won't get in the next.
Okay.
And if we don't get what we want in this world, we'll get it in the next.
Okay. So, fair or not fair?
Fair.
I was kind of like on the same like.
Okay. I'll ask that.
I was gonna say something first. Like, alhamdulillah, like I'm from like a North Shore suburb, and I know most cities too. So I can say like I've seen the both the best. I've seen the both the best worlds. Like for an example, it was really funny. About last year, I was in business class, and this kid behind me, he just got a Porsche.
Okay.
Okay, so and everyone around him was like, "Oh, yo, why are you so sad? You got a Porsche?" And the kid was like, "Oh, because my dad didn't put the turbo in." And everyone was looking at him like, you're an idiot. And then you go home and you see people on the news saying, I can't even feed my family at night. So I think, honestly, everyone's going to have their own opinion on if the world is fair or not.
Okay. So, whether or not the world is fair, everyone's going to have their own understanding. Yeah, you were saying something more.
I was saying something like life, like when you get through it, you like end up going like if you pass the test, you'll end up going to Jannah, so it'll all pay off in the end.
Okay. So you're saying the world is fair if you include the Day of Judgment.
Yes.
Okay. And also,
So it's fair. I think because a certain test for a certain person could be easier for another person or harder for that person, and so I think that the tests and the difficulty are easily they're given to them because Allah knows that they're manageable by them, and so that's why it's fair that the level of difficulty of the test is like the same for every single person.
Interesting. Okay, so everyone has, for them, it's all the same level of difficulty. Therefore, the world's fair. Okay. Page 11.
So back to that point I was saying that I forgot about. So life, the end goal is to go to Jannah.
Okay.
Yeah, right? So, I mean, it is fair because even if you're Muslim and you're poor, you're $1 because you worked harder for it. It'll give you more deeds than the person who's richer than you.
Okay.
And he gives more money. And if you're not Muslim, you still have like a chance to become Muslim because like there are masjids around you and you can come to interfaiths and try to embrace a religion.
Okay.
So you have a fair chance either way.
Okay. So you're speaking of fairness in terms of opportunity, that everybody has opportunity to become Muslim.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other thoughts? Someone, Saleh? What do you think? Saleh?
Yeah, I said it was fair because it was like the poor. It was like kind of like it's like a balance, like Khalid said. Like the poor, like the people who are like poor and the people who are rich. People who are rich might forget Allah and then they won't get as good in the hereafter.
I meant was believers.
Or believers and
Well, you
non-believers.
can say it's similar.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, then the poor people, because like Joad said, their $1 could equal however much like more than a rich person put in, even if they paid like.
Okay. All right. What do you think, Musammal?
I agree with Adam that it depends on your opinion, the way you look at it.
Okay. All right, so that's your assignment for next week. It's the mercies. When you're out at the mercies, say alhamdulillah about them. And then, sorry?
And the paragraph.
And then a paragraph explaining how it makes sense that Allah Ta'ala is so merciful and there's suffering in the world. And is this world fair or not? Okay, so let's make dua, and then we have to make sure everything is completely clean. We want to make sure we leave the place cleaner or as clean as it was when we came here. All right? So, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Subhanakallahumma, glory to you, O Allah. وبحمدك, praise and gratitude are to you. نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت, we bear witness there is no God but you. نستغفرك, we seek your forgiveness. ونتوب إليك, and we turn to you. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. Okay, that's how I reward you all. I think we had a good discussion, and we'll continue from there. And I want Mohsen to follow up with each of you guys to make sure you're doing your work. So you think you can do it during the week? Send him a note or a call.